He said, no, I'm going to come today. I know I've come late, but I was busy. I was quite busy. Oh, finally. I was wondering I'm going to be alone today. Hi, everyone. I was like, am I going to be alone today? Yeah? Okay. Hello. Yes? What? Hold on. I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. Just a minute.
But that girl is much long.
I'm coming, eh? Guys, I'm here. Today the topic is about how to prepare for interviews. I'm sorry I had to leave. Something very disturbing just came in. You know, tomorrow we are traveling. It's a date of traveling, and you guys, they are striking. Those people for the rail station, they are striking, guys. I don't even know how we are going to move again because we really have to go there. And oh my goodness, that has disturbed me. They are striking, guys. Here they strike like no man's business. Kuchira now Zambia. But much that strike from time to time. Okay, so how are we all doing today? How are we doing? And how have we been? I know I was supposed to come yesterday. Yes. Thank you, Pinka. Thank you for watching. Katambi, thank you for watching. I'm here to talk about how to prepare for interviews. How I prepared for my own interviews, okay? Yes, Letitia, for the first time. For the first time, Letitia, you're on time. Okay, guys, yeah, so we're talking about how to prepare for interviews. Guys, look what I'm wearing. Any LHI product in the building? Any LHI product in the building? Any LHI product in the building, guys? Oh, hi. LHI product, guys. LHI product. I finished a long time ago, but look, I'm still wearing it. Okay. Thank you. Because of my exams, so I had to put back my hair back to the origin state. Back to the reset. Hello. They know what is good for them. I'm telling you, they know what is good for them. They strike. But now it's going to be bad for me. Oh. How am I going to move to Oxford tomorrow? Because we're supposed to be in Oxford tomorrow, guys. Hi, Kukenga. I don't know. I don't know really, but we'll tell our leaders. I don't know what they're going to do. So when health, the Saka Health Institute. So today we are talking about a very interesting topic. We're talking about how to prepare for interviews, UK interviews to be specific. If you're coming as a nurse here in the UK, okay? Because to be honest, I had a number of interviews in Zambia as a nurse, just in private institutions, because I wanted to go and work in private institutions in Zambia, and I never used to make it. I never really used to know where I was having difficulties. And you know, in Zambia it's really hard to find a job, right? So when I came to the UK, I had to do a lot of research to find out how I'm going to do the interviews. So the first things first that come to mind, since you're an overseas nurse, what you need to prepare when you're going for an interview is, one, you must have your passport by your side at all times, because they might want to confirm. Please show us, do you have your passport with you? That is your identity, because now you are international, you're no longer using the NRC. Okay, you're no longer using the NRC, you now need the passport. So they'll ask you for the passport on the day of interviews. All right. And dressing up, guys. I will send you my picture. I think those who've watched on YouTube. I was wearing a uniform. Someone told me, since you are a nurse, the best thing is you wear a uniform. That will even show your personality as a nurse. Put on your uniform. I was putting on a uniform, nice cap, nicely, with pens all over, showing that I'm a nurse and I've come for an interview. I'm ready for you guys. Whatever questions you ask me, as long as they are related to nursing, I'll be able to answer you, okay, as an LHI product. Yes, okay. Yeah, so if you don't have a uniform, put on official wear. You cannot go for an interview with blonde hair, with red lipstick. Just put on normal, natural lipstick. If it's nude lipstick or whatever, all those things. You need to look smart. If you're a man, put on a jacket if you have, or a tie, a shirt. You will look representable, okay? Then secondly, you need to go on time. The third one, you need to go on time. So it's online. You'll be doing, make sure that your internet is okay, because internet was really a problem. Make sure your internet is okay. Very fit. If you can do it at an internet cafe, better for you. Or if you can, just make sure that your internet connection is really working perfectly. And also, no disturbance. Guys, it was hard for me because I have got 3 children. You can imagine what that is. Like, I closed all doors everywhere, but the lady was even like, I'm hearing noise, children playing in the background. On one interview that I couldn't really send my children away, she was like, I'm hearing noises in the background. Are they your children? I just had to say yes. How many children do you have? I've got 3. Oh, you are a busy lady. You know, if there were people who are not really okay with it, they would have left me out because of that. Like, I'm not serious. So yes, you need to make sure your environment is perfect, okay? And no noises, no quiet, no disturbances. Internet is perfect, and then you are dressing up nicely. You go or join if it's the Zoom or it's Teams or it's WebEx, whichever network you are using or app you are using to go online, join there at least 10 minutes earlier, okay? Join at least 10 minutes earlier, because you never know, they might finish faster with the person that they are doing the interviews with, and then they'll start you. And then just look organized though. This other interview that I did, that I failed, I did it at the ward, guys. I was working night duty. Then I was waiting for the matron. I think I was waiting for the matron told me to wait for something. And then because I was waiting for something, my time really caught up with me. I couldn't rush to go back home to have an interview. I decided to have it in the sister's office, the office for the sister. If the sister was here, she could have confirmed. She even found me, guys. I was there talking. I had to pause a little. And I failed that interview. I'm telling you, that's the only interview I failed for UK. It's because I was doing something else. I was busy doing other things, you know. Like some disturbances like that. You need to look organized. Okay, I think that is, be calm, be courageous enough, and all those things. Now I'm going to go and talk about the topics to prepare. Okay, so mostly here in the UK, like I said the other day, you heard what I was talking about the other day, right? Kuchitakea bantu bamene bakura babahulile machembele bese bahulile, those that have grown. Okay, so if you are taking care of people who've grown, you know that you have to have a heart of caring, isn't it? And these people are at risk of having what? Pressure ulcers. So definitely the first thing that you need to prepare about is pressure ulcer. So if you guys haven't read about pressure ulcer and you're having an interview anytime soon, go and read pressure ulcer. On pressure ulcer, you're reading what pressure ulcers are. The pressure ulcer areas that are very common to have pressure ulcers. Okay, pressure ulcer areas that are prone to have pressure ulcers. How you manage pressure ulcers, how you manage to prevent pressure ulcers. Okay, is anyone understanding me, so that I shouldn't talk alone over and over again? At least show something, a comment, you to know that you're understanding what I'm saying. So study about pressure ulcer. I hope someone is taking note who is going to be having interviews. Study about pressure ulcer. Then study about FOS. FOS, guys. FOS, I don't know if you understand. Kugwa pants. FOS. Okay? Because here, they are very common. Okay, you know, we are taking care of people who are grown. It's very common to have falls. So the question will be how you manage patients who've fallen. So look at, they'll give you a trick. So the trick that they gave me was, if you are alone on the ward, or you are working on the ward as you are alone in the care home as a nurse, alone as a nurse, and you've got 3 care assistants, okay, and we are taking care of patients. Then a patient has fallen to the ground. Another patient is complaining of chest pain. And another patient in another cubic is complaining of severe headache. Okay? Severe headache, chest pain, and someone has fallen on the ground. Who are you going to attend to first, or what are you going to do? My darlings, here in the UK, falls are an emergency. Okay, if you are coming to the UK, you should know that when someone has fallen, it's not something you can hide, or you can just keep quiet and forget and just forge ahead with life. No. If the patient has fallen to the ground, that is an emergency, because you fear that they might have hurt their brain, they might have internal hemorrhage, they might have, all sorts of things. So in such a situation, even when someone is complaining, my chest is paining, if you are the only one on duty, I even said, I'm going to call for help for other nurses to come. I was like, no, you are alone, there is no other nurse to help you. What are you going to do? Who are you going to attend to first? The first person to attend to in that moment is someone who's fallen to the ground, because this person can have internal hemorrhage, could have traumatized their brain. We used to call them what in nursing again? I'm disappointing my brain injury. Yeah, they could have had brain injury, anything. So you have to do a neurological assessment on these people. Neurological assessment is the GCS scale. You do the GCS Glasgow Coma scale on them, do vitals, head to toe examination, do a body map, and all those things. So you will have to mention the person you attend to first is the person who's fallen to the ground, because this person might have hurt their brain, they might have internal hemorrhage, and they're at risk of going into cardiac arrest or anything. You get the point, right? So these are the people you need to do what to attend to first, and they'll ask you, what are you going to do? The things I will do the neurological observations, call for help. They've got buttons here what they call for help, like 2222, or you're calling the emergency team to come in. So you will do head to toe observations, you will do the vitals, temperature, pulse, respirations, the pupil, the hands, if they're able to move, all those things. You just mention those things to know that you know what you need to do in such a situation. Okay? Then after you do the falls, so the second topic is falls. I talked about, the first topic was pressure ulcer, the next topic is falls. Okay, then the next topic that they like here also is abuse, guys. So they'll ask you the types of abuse. The types of abuse. And do you know those types of abuse? I know that we are used, in Zambia, we are used to physical abuse, we are used to sexual abuse, we are used to, is it emotional abuse? But there's also what they call financial abuse here in the UK. That's the fifth one. Financial abuse. You know what this financial abuse is? If an adult you're taking care of, because they see how you are taking care of them, you love them, you are calling them my love, my sugar, and you're taking care of them properly. If they go to the supermarket, they buy you something and you accept that, you are abusing them. Okay? That's financial abuse. Let me see a man in the comment section. Let me see a man in the comment section, guys. That is abuse. Okay? Financial abuse. You are not supposed to get anything from anyone. You're not supposed to get any money from your patients. Not just money, gift, whatever it is. Okay, gift, presents, whatever. You're not supposed to get any of those things. Thank you for the amens. Not supposed to get anything from the patients, guys. Okay, even if they are telling you no, it's them giving you, just say thank you so much, but I cannot accept this, because as a nurse I must at all times abide by the code. Okay, code of conduct, prioritize people, practice effectively, promote safety, and promote professionalism and trust. Professionalism and trust. So at least by this you're going. A professional cannot accept anything from an old person. They are not in their normal state to give you something. Okay, so financial abuse. So there's also sexual abuse. So just read on abuse. In fact, I've already talked about pressure ulcer. I've talked about force. Now we're on abuse. This is the third topic you need to read on. The next one is infection prevention. Okay, read on infection prevention. Things that you do to prevent infection as nurses, segregation of waste. In Zambia, we use yellow beans, red beans, black beans, all those things. You need to learn about that because they might ask you the questions on that, all right? Segregation of infection, waste, waste segregation. So that's in infection prevention, especially sharps. They are very particular, guys, with sharps. Let me tell you. They are very particular when it comes to sharps. Even if I know some of you, most of you nurses in here, sometimes timatenga kanikaleza au nikanyele timu wapeleka kunyumba kuno, of course they don't accept that, but wapeleka kanyele tikaja waenda nako kurumu, then siuza kataya kaja kanyele tukataya bwino zaka ikache mubini kuja kunyumba kwako bakapeza kaja kanyele tikali mubini bakachita investigate bapeza ati ndiwe ichokera kunyumba kwanu unatenga kuti kwame unatenga. They will investigate to find out why you got that sharp and why you're causing harm to other people. So infection prevention, that's where the sharps issue comes in. When I was a student, I was gifted a live chicken, but because as nurses we don't accept gifts, I had to reject. Hello, I really wanted that chicken. I'm telling you, I think in Zambia sometimes we we forget about, but here it's a serious crime. You can even be taken to police. It will not just end with nurses and whatever talking about it. It will go to the police. Hello? It will go to the police. You will be taken to police for abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse. Sexual abuse, if you are cleaning this side, ndiwe mkazi, ndiwe mamuna, you are cleaning ukai, ndiwe patient mba clean na kuku. So, pamene mu clean now, clean nicely. Slowly, nicely, get their permission. Guys, all those things you can just prepare for them, you get. Because ngati suna cleaner bwino, mo klipo cleaner, kapena wa chita ngenesa kwanja o bwanji, banga kambati uyo sexual abuse. So, guys, prepare on abuse, okay? That's the third one. Is that the third one or the fourth one? Then the next one that comes that you need to prepare for. At refusing compound kukwasa. Yeah, then you can read on diabetes, you can read on hypertension, because diabetes, the diabetic food, the at risk of the diabetic food, so you can read on that, hypertension, and yeah. Yeah, any questions before I continue, guys? Hi, evening. How are you, Jessie? Any questions from what we've discussed so far? Financial abuse. Yeah, so those are the things that you really need to talk about. You really need to read and prepare yourself. Yeah. On diabetes. No, diabetes mainly is just, I wasn't asked about diabetes, but it was one of the things they told me that I need to do what, to study on. They might ask you the diabetic foot, how to monitor how to know that there is a pressure ulcer that might be coming, because diabetes is also going hand in hand with pressure ulcer. Okay, diabetes is going hand in hand with pressure ulcer, because you might be, oh, you've reminded me. Types are how to score wound assessment. We call it wound assessment. How to score, here we call it wound assessment. How am I going to say it? Because now it has gone. There are levels of pressure ulcer, right? Or wounds. There's the way that you scale them. 0, meaning the skin is just okay. The skin is perfect, it's intact. 1, you started seeing some reddish discoloration, okay? All those things. Then 2, it has even now maybe it has opened up. The skin is no longer intact. 3, it has gone to the muscle. I think some I've forgotten what it's called, but something like that. Yes, the depth and the length of the wound. If it's the pressure ulcer, it's a wound, whatever wound. So just read about that, because that is what comes in the diabetes, because of the diabetic foot. Okay. Yes, like Baines, how you classify Baines. But Baines, wound assessment, guys, I don't know how I'm going to say. Wound assessment. When you're assessing the wound, you're assessing how deep it is. Is it just on the skin, on the surface? It's deep, it has gone to the bone. There are levels from 1 to 4. I've forgotten, but it's from 0 to 4, how you score it. Okay, when you research about that, it's going to come. Yes, then we continue now. The number 5th one is you need to learn about. No. Do they ask how much money you currently earn and how much you want to be paid by them? No, they don't ask. I don't remember, because I did 5 interviews, like I told you. But in these 5 interviews I did, there's no one who asked me about how much do you earn in your current position, or no. They just wanted to know about my experience, how much experience I have, not about. Okay. Yes, it's an interview. It takes more than 30 minutes, my dear Anastasia. It's interview for UK. That's why when you prepare your CV, make sure you prepare it well. Okay? Make sure you prepare it very well, because most of the things they will ask you are those that are on your CV. Most of the questions they will ask you are those that are on your CV. So like me, I used to be an infection prevention nurse at the private hospital, and then I said I'm an infection prevention nurse, and they bombarded me with a lot of questions on infection prevention, guys. So yeah, they will do what? They will ask you mostly with what you put on CV and what you've told them you do. If you work in GYN, they will ask you even some questions in GYN. Like the one I was doing they were asking me about mental health, psychosis. What do you do if a patient, and that's why that one I failed it. Let me tell you guys, that's the only one I failed. I told you that one of the reasons was that I was disorganized, but another reason was that when they told me you've got a patient with psychosis on the ward, what do you do to that patient? My answer was that in Zambia we restrain them. We'll tie them, probably put them in. They'll be excluded from other people. You nest them in a side ward room where you probably, that is restraining. It's a police case here. They don't tie. They don't restrain. Instead, what they will do here is that they will have one nurse and one LC or any of them who will be following this patient around everywhere the entire day. If this patient goes this side, you go with them. They go there, you go with them. Guys, please, things are different. Let me tell you, things are different. That's why you find these all questions. And yeah, so continuing with what you need to prepare for, they also ask, do you give medication in your country? Okay, because giving medication here also is a serious issue. Do you administer medication? If your answer is yes, the next question is that, okay, so how do you administer? Tell us about drug administration. They want you to talk about the 6 rights of drug administration. It's no longer the 5, it's now the 6. Okay? 6 rights of drug administration. Drug administration, 6 rights of drug administration. Who can tell me the 6 rights of drug administration? Do they ask for a demo of how you care for certain patients? If you say you care for patients, they'll ask, how have you been? You in one of the questions they'll ask you, okay, so tell us what you do in your ward. How do I care for my patient? The first question actually I got was that, tell us about your normal routine in your ward. Okay, tell us about the normal routine in your ward. The normal routine I do in my ward is to do observations, give more. There are 5 things. It should be 4 things they want to hear. 1, they want the normal routine. They want the observations. Of course, those are the things you will be doing here. Then, so mention about the assessment, okay, planning, implementation, evaluation, guys. Assessment, planning, implementation, evaluation. So the question is that, okay, so what do you do? What are your main duties as a nurse in the ward? What are your day-to-day routine in your ward? I assess patients. When I reach, I do assessment on my patient, planning, implementation, and evaluation. And then we also administer prescribed medication. Now, that's where the 6 rights of medication will come in. We administer prescribed medication, monitor blood glucose. Remember, blood glucose is not mentioned in here. We'll monitor blood glucose levels of the patients who are diabetic. So if you mention those 6 things, should be 6 things on your daily nursing needs that you do, you are well to do. Okay, then on the medication, the rights of medication, I wanted someone to mention them, but it's like, oh, right patient, right drug, right route, right time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. You've mentioned 4. Right drug, right route, right time, right dose, right patient, and right documentation. Documentation is very important here. Each time you give medication, even in a real sense, each time you give medication, guys, I didn't mistake, but sometimes you do this. You're carrying your drug charts and you've carried your medication. You go, hello, good morning. This is the person you're talking to. You're from talking to even now. Maybe you're doing something else. Hello, tell me your full names, please. My name is Wabe Wamundila. Date of birth, 19 October 1924. Okay, perfect. May I check your wristband? All patients have got wristband. May I check your wristband? You check their wristband. You confirm the same name they are mentioning. You confirm the date of birth. Then, okay, perfect. You go and get your drugs, right? You go and get your drugs. When you come back to the same person again, even if your trolley was just next, you still have to confirm again. Okay, tell me your full names again and the date of birth. Okay, your full names and the date of birth. Perfect. And the NHS number and the NHS number. Then you go ahead and give. So right documentation. That's the number 6th one. Right documentation. Right patient, right drug, right dose, right route, right documentation, right time. Perfect. That's the one, Kenny. That's the one. So, drug administration issue. Tick, you've passed. What other thing do I remember that they ask? Be calm, be courageous. So then, then now for interviews, now there'll be a time after they've done everything, after they've asked you their questions, they are ticking. Guys, they tick. Interviews, here, you are even seeing them. They'll be like, okay, hold on. If they didn't understand, okay, hold on, let me check. They've got list of questions. Whichever you are answering correctly according to them, they are ticking. At the end of the day, they count. How much did you get? I did a lot of them. That's why I've got this experience with interviews, because I was seeing. Then they'll count how much you've gotten. If there were 10 questions, then they'll say divide out of 10, how much did you get? And out of all the interviews they will have, then they'll see, okay, who have we gotten? Even if they really want people, I know I used to have that feeling to say, you can need a lot of nurses, so it's okay whether you don't fail. I failed one. No. If I failed one, it means there is failure, isn't it? I used to have that misconception that no, as nurses you cannot fail. They need a lot of nurses. Even if they need a lot of nurses, they are not desperate. They want people who knows what they are doing. So they'll ask you all these questions. Prepare adequately. Okay? Prepare adequately. And then yeah, then time for you to do the interview, to ask your questions. No, British Council are only going there for IELTS, my dear Anastasia. You're just going there for IELTS, that's all. When you're going to search for your jobs and everything, to be on your phone, you do interviews online. If you are using phone or computer or laptop, whatever you are using, it will be on phone, to be on interviews on phone. The way I'm speaking here, on the next end, you are responding to me. So it might either be through Zoom, WebEx, Teams, or so many of them. Yeah, but I used Teams and Zoom and WebEx. Yeah. So another thing, when time for you comes to ask questions, guys, when time for you comes to ask questions, don't say you don't have a question. They're not going to see that you're serious. When time for you to ask questions, ask questions. But I'm not that person who'd advise people to say you start asking about, okay, how much am I going to be earning? What. I don't know about others, but if you feel safe asking it, please go ahead. I never asked any type of question like that. And I had 4 job offers that I got. And from the job offers I got, they all considered my expense apart from one. And I ended up coming to the one that they did not even my experience, but it was a place that was good because it's in a good place, no racism, no what. So I decided to follow that. Okay, but these others, where they got me, they chose, they followed my experience, and they gave me quite a huge amount of money compared to these other places. So so when time for you to ask questions, the questions that I would advise you to ask is, probably you can find out about, okay, so what's the patient nurse ratio in your facility? Okay, what's the patient nurse ratio? And if they did not ask you about personal development, because actually they ask, I forgot about that, they'll ask you, so how do you ensure personal development, professional development? How do you ensure professional development in your facility or at your own level? And me, I said, in my facility, in my hospital, we used to call them what, those CPD. What do you call them? CPD. We used to do that a lot at Lukunda. I've forgotten what it's called again. Back then, we used to meet continuous. CPD is what? Guys, answer now. I've forgotten what it's called. Continued. But we used to go and learn anyway. Every week they meet. Even at UTH, those at UTH, there are those meetings that they have almost every week. They will go and meet there, maybe teach you about infection prevention, or someone will talk about PPROM. Me, I was in Gyne. Maybe someone will talk about PPROM or PROM. Then the next someone will talk about eclampsia. The next meeting someone will talk about. So those are professional development, isn't it? For you to continuation of knowledge, so that you shouldn't remain stuck. They'll ask you that question. Yes, continue professional development. Thank you, Kenny. That's the word I wanted. So we'll have presentations on those continued professional development. We'll be having them every week. Though at UTH I never used to attend, let me not lie. But at Lukunda, where I was working, I used to do what? We used to have them every 2 weeks. So in my interview, I said we have this continued professional development every week. I lied. Every week. I want to win. I want to pass. Why should I tell you everything they brought? In interviews is to be, yeah. So they'll ask you that question. So if they didn't ask you, or even if they did, now you can ask, okay, now you talked about professional development. How do you ensure professional development for your employers? Perfect question. They will know that you're interested in learning. How do you ensure professional development for your employers? Do you encourage your employees to go for school? Okay, for continued development, issue shine up on this nurse is intelligent. This nurse is intelligent. If you're not talking about that, then you can also say, you can ask them a question to say, or in your strength, in your vision. They'll ask you, what are your visions? You can say, in the next 5 years, what are your visions in the next 5 years? I see myself growing well on the hierarchy in your hospital, professional hierarchy in your hospital or your company. I see myself growing well on your professional hierarchy in your company in the next 5 years. That one, they will like it because you are still saying you want to be with them even in the next 5 years. They don't want to employ someone who run away in 2 days, who run away in 3 days, 2 months, atava. No, they don't want. They want to employ someone who is ready to stick with them. Okay, because they spend a lot of money and time in all these things. Guys, they spend a lot of money, let me tell you. They spend on to bring you from wherever you're coming from in Africa, to bring you here to the UK. They also spend, and it's also involving for them. So that's why they would want to know if someone is ready to stay with them. So you can say, I'm seeing myself growing very well in your company, actually proceeding through the hierarchy of the company, probably holding a better position in your company in the next 5 years after I actually continue learning here and there, gaining my master's. If you have diploma, gaining my degree. If you've got degree, gaining my master's, PhD, whatever you're getting, or specializing in a certain specialty, something like that. Just mention something like that, it'll be fine. I think those are the things I can remember. Prepare yourself, have questions to ask, and be calm, be on time, be courageous. Everything will be fine. Whew. Okay, guys, I think we are done. Is there any question? I think I should become a teacher. What do you think, guys? It's quiet. No answer. Okay, so I'm speaking to myself. There's no answer. Since you didn't ask about salaries, do they indicate in the advert the earnings, or they communicate once they offer you a job? They indicate in their flyers. If you go on Facebook, if it's NHS, you'll find they've put everywhere, on every job they indicate. Even that video I sent yesterday, you saw it. It was talking about the earnings, so you know that you'll be between this range and that range. Okay, so they even indicate all that in there. And then when your job offer comes, it will show you the salaries. So now this job offer, when it comes, it's you to accept it or to refuse it. So once the job offer is out, before you sign it, you read it through to understand and see the pay they've put for you. Are you happy with the pay? If you're not happy, you leave it. You go to another one. Not just the pay, but even their terms and conditions. CV, guys, I'll have to come one day when I have time to come and talk about the CV. But for now, yes, even HCS is the same questions, because actually are the ones who are even going to be hands-on the patients a lot, because I told you the other day, HCS are the ones that will be cleaning, will be doing what, bathing the patients, all those things. So they'll ask you all those questions, yes. So I don't know, maybe it's because I talk too much. Smile, guys, remember to smile. It's not to be, oh woman, no, smile. But even them, they'll just give you that friendly environment. They'll be smiling at you. You know why it's now, but it's very good kuchita pretend. They'll be smiling at you, so they'll give that smile, will give you a free environment for you to also start smiling. So you smile, speak, and so because of that, you'll be able to. So I was free. I started speaking, like speaking from my heart and just speaking and talking. I became so free, such that now they even had to. The other one was like, even smiled. They offered me a job there, and they didn't even tell me to wait. They were like, this same job you have come, here where I've come. They offered me a job just there and then when I did the interviews. They even told me to say, you've passed because you've answered everything I wanted. You've passed. Right now, what is just waiting is for you to have your to send you the offer letter, but we promise to send you by tomorrow. You've already passed. And they were like, but then which one do you want to? So you need to I forgot about this huge point. How did I forget it? I think that's why they even told me to say you've passed. One thing that you should do, guys, if you're taking notes, put that research about the company or hospital you are going to be having interviews with. Research about them. Know about them, guys. Know about them. So that when you come, you even shine. They'll ask you, the first question they'll ask you is that, what do you know about us? Tell us, what do you know about us? After you tell them about yourself, they'll ask you, what do you know about us? So now shine. Talk about their hospital. Anyway, let me tell you guys, I had to start telling them their history. There's a company, there's a healthcare, there's a nursing care home. I told them, I know this company was produced by this lady who was a registered nurse in the 1972. She partnered with her firstborn son so that they came together and opened up this hospital, the care home. And within the specific period of time, they grew up very quickly. And now they've got about 150 care homes across the UK. Across the UK in England. How? Who don't want to hire such a person, guys? Who even knows the history? Who knows the history? Who opened the hospital? Guys, and not just that, I also knew that I also told them what their values is. No, at your hospital you care for, you really strive hard to make sure that you provide personal centered care. Never forget that word, personal centered care. In the UK they like it. That's why I'm telling you that who is mad, if the person who is mad, who is having mental health, they'll tell one person to be moving around that person. They'll tell one nurse to be moving around with that person everywhere they are going. Is because they've got what they like, personal centered care. The personal centered care just to that person. They don't care about the rest of it. They will just mind what are your complaints as a patient, and they'll take care of you the way you are, holistically. So personal centered care. So I told them that, and I told them when they opened, when they did what, and that their hospital, their care home, they love personal centered care, and blah 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 blah, and all those things. I'm in a hospital, but I did interviews in care home, in hospital. I did interviews in 2 hospitals. I did interviews in 2 care homes, and then 1 private hospital. I did interviews in the care home, 2. I did interviews in the hospital, 2. I did interviews in 1 private hospital. And the private hospital is the one I failed. What I considered for me to settle for this job and not from the others. 1, the first thing that I was really looking at was, 1, the place where I was going, how cheap was the place I was going to. So among these 4 places that I got, this place was a bit cheaper according to my research. Okay, how cheap is the place that I've gotten? Then 2 was crime rate. I've talked about this in one of my videos a long time ago. I was much specific about crime rate according to my skin color, because I know my children will follow me, and I wouldn't want my children to pass through the pressure. Okay, I don't want my children to come here and pass through the pressure of skin discrimination. So I researched about that. So I even, in my past videos, guys, be watching my videos. When you come watch my videos, you'll find all these things are there. I talked about the crime rate, okay, due to skin color, and just crime rate generally. or Numbeo, Numbeo. When you go on that site on internet, research it, it will compare about the prices, it will compare about the transportation, it will compare about the crime rate, it will compare about everything. So I was using that site a lot to compare about all these 4 sites. Okay. Then the third one was I wanted the people that would do things quickly, because I had no time to waste around after I've spent a lot of money on this process. So I wanted people who do things quickly. So yeah, wanted people who do things quickly. Then final but last, I think I just loved how those people interacted with me in during the interview, and just the fact that they even say, "You've been golden. I can't wait to meet you." You know, you guys, they even say, "I can't wait to see you in person." During the interview, that one lady said, "I can't wait to see you in person." Maybe it's because of the way I was responding. I don't know, whatever it is, but they really couldn't wait to see me in person. So when they said that, it melted my heart, and I loved the place altogether. So, and the fact that they gave me chance to choose among their hospitals, which hospital I really want. So because I researched, I knew about all the hospitals and the prices in all of their hospitals, the accommodation in all of their hospitals. I chose the same one. During the interviews, I want to come to Ashford. But oh, okay, all right. And now the other one was like, "Oh, now unfortunately me, I'm at this place. I'm at Margate. Oh, no, how am I going to meet you guys?" That melted my heart. So that's how I went with them. Any more question? Okay, but I talk too much. Serious, that's why. Is there any more? We are done. I think I've spoken about everything. If you are going to do videos, go back to this video again, listen to it and research, then it will be fine. Yes, yes. It depends with where you have experience. So me, I told them I'm in Gyn, but because Gyn needs specifically people who've got mid, here the no RN works in mid. In labor ward, in Gyn ward, no RN works in that unless you've got mid. So because of that, that's why they couldn't get me. But that guy, you see that guy who is most of the times on my pictures, the one I'm staying with here, he's been working in ICU his whole life. So even here he works in ITU. Okay. You can, but it's not specifically that they'll take you to where also they need people. Others, they've taken them to theater where they've never worked before. Others have taken them to surgical wards where they've never worked before. They took me to orthopedic ward. I've never worked in orthopedic before. But they'll follow your experience on your CV, what you write for them on your CV. They'll also look at the availability of spaces in those places and see if they can fit you in there. If not, then they'll take you anywhere. Guys, which agents did you use? This question keeps on coming. I've been referring everyone to Cactus Healthcare. Cactus Healthcare. You can go to Cactus Healthcare. You can go to Medline. Yeah. You can go to MMA. All of the 3, they helped me because all of the 3 were there. It's either I did interviews with this other one. I told you I was looking for jobs everywhere. So others I was looking for myself, others I was looking for. But you can go to Cactus Healthcare, you can go to Medline, you can go to MMA. But the rest of them, I don't know. That is if you wish, Letitia. It's just like anywhere else. If you wish. If you don't, you work in the same one until you... If you wish to live, you will live by doing what? By specializing. You go and take whatever course you want to take. Then they will take you to the course that you did. Any more question? If you want to live, you can live. You can go to any department. I've not found myself yet because I'm still starting. So when I finally find myself here in the UK and I know myself well, I know what I like and what I want. But I feel in the future I'll go to the teaching. I'll be teaching OSCE. I haven't even passed. But talking is my talent. So since talking is my talent, I should go and speak. I should teach OSCE. Probably when I teach OSCE, I'll fulfill my talent of talking. isn't it? Yeah, my people have suffered. Okay, people, bye. Have a lovely night. Thank you for watching. Please share the video. Share the video. Those that have not started following, guys, is it fair in your own heart you are following someone, you're getting all this information, but you're not following? Is it? All this information for free, but you're not sharing, guys. You're not sharing, you're not liking, commenting, you're not doing anything of that sort. You're not doing anything. You're not liking, you're not sharing, you're not following, you're not even going to my YouTube channel to follow, to subscribe to it. You're not doing anything, but you're coming to get information. Then you will go, you're just going to look at this lady. Guys, it's not fair. The only way you can support me is just by liking or following or subscribing to my YouTube channel. That's all I'm asking. Kenya, you're like me. Talking is my best. I'm telling you, it's my talent. I never knew that I have got a talent until today, that talking is my talent. All right, thank you. Thank you. Good night. Bye. Let me go and prepare. See you in London tomorrow. That is if we travel with those train stations. I don't know.